Hello and welcome to Longship Gaming. Today we are playing Marvel Champions. It's going to be the newly released Shadowcat versus the newly released Sabretooth from Mutant Genesis. Happy days when the new expansion comes out, and this time they released additional two heroes in Cyclops and Phoenix on day one. Normally that'd be great, but up here in Canada, we didn't get Phoenix. She got delayed until the end of October. So I've got a line on Phoenix coming up from a friend in the US, so hopefully she gets here before the end of the month. I'm somewhat limited in terms of deck construction because I don't have access to her cards, and some of them in Justice are pretty good. So in this particular case, I decided to run Shadowcat as Aggression. Went onto the Marvel Champions database, found a great deck. And it is Aggression. I will link to and credit the creator in the description below. So to go over what we have in Aggression for our allies, Magic and Wolverine. Magic's actually fairly important in this matchup against Sabretooth because of the modular sets of the Brotherhood and Mystique. So response after you play Magic from your hand, spend a Genius resource, choose a non-elite minion, engage with the X-Men hero, shuffle that minion in the counter deck. Now that I say that, I don't really recall if the Brotherhood are elites or not. They could very well be. If so, then she's not quite as useful. Having tested this deck against Sabretooth already, there is a villain, or a minion, and that's Mystique, who can come out and basically become the equivalent of a second villain to have to fight against. Just in case that happens, so just note that I have Sabretooth over here, while I have Mystique standing in the wings here. Because she might as well have been her own villain, to be honest. If things go poorly with this deck, it's pretty rough. So we've got her just off camera, should she decide to show up. Don't recall if she is an elite or not. Don't think she is. But anyway, being able to bounce one of them back to the encounter deck is very, very valuable. Wolverine, attacks gain piercing. After your turn begins, heal 1 damage from Wolverine. Now, because Shadowcat is a form-changing hero and does it far more frequently than any other form-changing hero I've encountered so far. I haven't played Colossus yet, so I don't really know if this applies in his case. We've got 3 copies of Surprise Attack. So after you change form, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 4 damage instead if you pay for this card using a Strength resource. This deck is filled with Strength resources. She shifts back and forth between phased and solid very, very, very frequently in this deck, and gets a lot more use out of that. Even though one version, we'll get to that in a minute, is forced as a forced response. Having 3 of these is extremely valuable, since they can pump out a lot of damage for very little cost. Then we have good old Dropkick for card draw and doing damage and stunning, which is something you're going to want to do against Sabretooth a lot. 3 copies of that. Martial Prowess, of course, to pay for them. Boot Camp. Shadowcat's already got a 2/2/2 stat line, so this ups her to a 3. And 2 Powers of Aggression. For our basic cards, well, I mean, this is an X-Men expansion, so we've tried to put as many X-Men cards in as possible. We have Colossus. So reduce the cost of to play Colossus by 1 if your identity has the mutant or X-Men trait. Angel, reduce the cost of him as well. So he's a 2 cost. It's pretty solid. 3 cost for Colossus. Pretty much always going to be that. Professor X, very solidness with a 3 thwart. After Professor X enters play, choose 1, confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. At the end of the round, if Professor X is still in play, discard him. So in a lot of ways, he's very much like Nick Fury, but for X-Men. He doesn't stick around, but he can do a lot of heavy lifting when he comes in. Shadow and Steel. It's an event, team up, so Colossus and Shadowcat. Attack defense. When an enemy attacks, prevent all damage from that attack and deal 4 damage to the attacking enemy. Of course, you can only have 1. And you have to have Colossus out. So because she does so much form shifting, ready to rumble. I'm using the old art here. I know the Mutant Genesis comes with new art. I like the look of this one better, so I just kept the old one in. So hero response: after you change form, discard this card and ready your hero. That's going to be happening a lot with her. Depth focus is very important because almost all of her cards, with the exception of a very few, like her conditions and so on, are superpowers. So hefty discount here. X-Jet, well, of course, exhausted, generate a wildcard resource so the player's identity has the X-Men trait. Team building exercise, because we have some expensive allies to come out. Utopia, we can have now 4 X-Men out, if that ever happens, pretty unlikely. After an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character, of course. Very good for Shadowcat. And the new art on the resource cards. So Genius, Energy, and Strength. I shamefacedly admit, I have no idea who this character is. These two are obvious, but who's this guy? All right. So for our scenario, we have, it's Sabretooth. I just want to point out something here. So the eagle eye among you may notice that the colors on Sabretooth here are reversed. It's because I painted him in the House of X colors from the first issue of that series. So it swaps the yellow and the brown colors in his costume. He's got, because of course we're playing an expert, he's starting on stage 2. He's got 15 hit points, toughness, scheme of 2, and attack of 2. Forced response: after Sabretooth activates against you, discard the top card of the encounter deck and heal damage from Sabretooth equal to the number of boost icons discarded this way. So it's an uphill battle fighting him. Like he starts on 15, on his stage 3 he's got 18. So he doesn't have a huge pool. But the fact that he is likely to heal back very quickly, meaning you have to really hit him hard. And oddly enough, Shadowcat's pretty good at that with the cards on her deck. So his main scheme is stalked by Sabretooth. So force response: after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, deal 2 damage to Robert Kelly, 3 damage instead if they're at least 6 threat here. While Robert Kelly is attached to Find the Senator, treat his text box as if it were blank. So what's going on here is that Sabretooth is trying to kill Senator Robert Kelly. You are trying to basically defend him. But the first thing you have to do is find him where he's hiding. So in the Find the Center, Robert Kelly cannot be healed by player card effects and cannot have upgrades attached. When defeated, the first player detaches Robert Kelly from this scheme, and takes control of him, advance to main scheme 2A, flip this card, and place it next to the main scheme. So Robert Kelly himself, he has 9 hit points. He's got no thwart, no attack. First player controls Robert Kelly. Does not count against your ally limit. Cannot have player cards attached. Forced interrupt: when an enemy resolves an undefended attack against you, deal that damage to Robert Kelly. So you're always going to be sort of on the back foot. You're always going to have to be defending to make sure that he doesn't take damage. There is only one way to heal him in this scenario, and that is through a side scheme that's in the deck here. You cannot heal him otherwise. So, moving on to Kitty Pryde. She has 9 hit points. I should pick up both cards, and they're both pretty relevant here. She has a 3 recovery. Set up, put your mass form upgrade into play, solid side face up, phase control action, flip your mass form upgrade, limit once per round. She has a hand size of 6, hand size of 5 on her hero side, which is par for the course. Thwart of 2, attack of 2, defense of 2, my preferred stat line. Selective intangibility. While you are in phased mass form, Shadowcat ignores the guard and patrol keywords and any crisis icons in play. So basically she can just ignore those things that tend to restrict you, which is pretty good. So for her forms, very important to, she's tricky as far as a form changer to try and figure out. So solid form, mass form permanent, hero resource to exhaust this card, generate a strength resource for an attack or defense event. Response, after you attack or defend in solid mass form, flip this card. So you don't have to, but you can. Which is in contrast to her phased form, mass form permanent. While Shadowcat is defending, she cannot take damage. Forced response, after you attack or defend in phased mass form, flip this card. So this is forced. So you're always going to be, you always have to flip from phased to solid after attacking or defending, but you don't necessarily have to while solid. So timing this during the game is crucial to figure out how you can switch back and forth most efficiently. You want to get used out of the strength resource you can generate. You also want to be able to get used out of her own abilities and see how quickly she can stand back up, because there's lots of cards that allow her to do this. So, in summary, as far as form changes go, I don't typically like them. I do, however, like how it was designed for Kitty Pryde. I think that about covers it, so we're going to get shuffled up and be right back with Shadowcat versus Sabretooth. All right, we're back. We're shuffled up. We're ready to go. Full disclosure, this is my, I don't know, upteenth attempt to get this video recorded successfully. Like, I recognize that Sabretooth is a tough scenario. And I think by picking Shadowcat as the first hero to go up against the first of the villains from Mutant Genesis, made my life all that much more complicated. The fact that I find that there's a lot of scenarios like this, but particularly in this scenario, one small error can compound whether or not you ultimately are successful or not. Little things like forgetting to flip when Sabretooth heals after every activation. If you don't do that, then it throws off what the card would be for your encounter card. Flipping back and forth, the difference between a forced response on phased and a non-forced response on solid can make a huge difference as well. Especially on his third stage because of Retaliate. You have to be very aware because one hit point makes all the difference. So, yeah, I'm about ready to see this scenario put away for a while because I've played it so often. But this is going to be, win or lose, hell or high water, this is going to be the attempt. I've beaten Sabretooth legit in a practice game with this deck. But man, for some reason, I'm having like a real brain fog moment sometimes when playing this scenario on camera. So hopefully this time things will be successful. So we've got our starting 6 cards. We've got Colossus, Utopia, X-Jet, Strength, Phase Strike, and Dropkick. All somewhat expensive, but all somewhat good. We can certainly start off the game with a Dropkick, but that doesn't allow us necessarily to get the Senator that quickly. Utopia would be good to bring out Colossus earlier, but it is very expensive. Yeah. Well, I know for sure we're not going to phase strike. I almost want to forego Dropkick because of the tough that's out there right now in favor of building up building up some engine. So let's drop that as well. So we have Angel and Lockheed. Okay. So I have a feeling that it's probably going to be Lockheed. Okay, so we are going to, because we have no attacks to spend our might resource on solid, so we're going to switch to flip over to phased. And then we're going to switch to hero form. We're going to play out Utopia. We're going to thwart. We're going to play out... We're going to keep Warren for next time. We're going to play out Lockheed. We're in phased, so we're going to move 2 threat from the scheme. Use Utopia to stand back up again. We're going to use Lockheed to thwart. So, Robert Kelly comes to us. We're now protecting the Senator. Sabretooth deals us face down counter card. Now the question is what to do. Do we attack? Or do we just stay phased? I think we're just going to stay phased to allow us to have a defense. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shadowcat surprise, phase strike, Kitty's room, surprise attack, and Angel. Okay. Scheme's going to go on here. Sabretooth's going to attack. We are going to defend. We are phased. That would have been 4 damage, but none. Phased has to switch back to solid. He's going to heal for 2. Didn't have any damage anyway. First encounter card, Blob. He's got a scheme of 1, attack of 2, and guard. Hit points of 6. After Blob attacks and damages a character, stun that character. And second one, Brotherhood. Comes in with 5 scheme. Has each Brotherhood of Mutants minion gains quick strike. Okay. Well, we know what we need to do there. So we're going to do a phase strike. 1, 2, 3. To get rid of Blob. We're going to use Warren to put out Kitty's room. And that's all we can really do. Do we flip down here? No, I don't think that's a wise idea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leaving Lockheed up there to absorb any other attacks. Professor X, Airwalk, Acute Control, Intangible Interference, and Phased and Confused. Okay. So, scheme goes on. He's going to attack. We're going to have Lockheed get in the way. If this attack defeats an ally, place 2 threat on the main scheme. First encounter card from Brotherhood. Sabretooth attacks. He has no sustained damage. So he's got +1, so he's attacking for 3. I can't really afford to bow. So I'm going to have to let Robert Kelly take it. So that's 3, 4, 5. Next encounter card. He's going to scheme. Scheming for 2. Oh. Wait, that was the attack. He needs to heal. Heals for nothing. Next encounter card. He's going to attack. We have to defend. So this is 2, 3. So we take 1. Heals for 1. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to need to bring on Professor X. So there's Professor X. What do we choose to do with him? We're going to confuse Sabretooth. We're going to thwart Brotherhood scheme. Utopia allows us to stand up. Should have done that in the other order. We're going to thwart to get the last 2 off of the Brotherhood. We're going to flip down. We're going to flip this to phase. We're going to use this to draw a card. Shadowcat surprise. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4. So we have Airwalk, Shadowcat surprise, team building exercise, Ready to Rumble, Magic, and Quick Shift. Excuse me. All right. Scheme's going to go on. Sabretooth cannot scheme because he is confused. He's going to heal for 2. Encounter card. He's going to scheme. He got +1 for that. So it's 3. He came very close to scheming out. My goodness. Look at that. Now he's got Stalwart. Okay. But Professor X goes away. Okay. So we're phased. So we're going to use Kitty's room. Get ready to rumble. Excuse me. Let's, for now, stay in phased. So we're going to flip over. We're going to airwalk to get 4 off of here. Then we're going to thwart. Then we're going to bring out magic. There's no minion out here, so Shirley can't do anything. We're just going to trigger Utopia. We're going to stand back up again. We're going to thwart again. And we'll have magic finally ping the tough off of Sabretooth. And we're going to hang on to Quick Shift. It's going to be worth it for us this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Phase of Confuse, Quick Shift, Death Focus, Surprise Attack, Quick Shift. Okay. He's going to put some threat on. He's going to attack. He's attacking for 2. We are going to use Quick Shift to defend. Just going to draw us 2 cards. Because we're already phased. Not quite doing this in the right order, but we know what's happening. This has to flip over. It's a solid. He would have done 4. He heals for 1. Encounter card. Medical emergency. Well, that's pretty good for us. Don't know why I put threat on. Dude. Should have been damage. There we go. So it comes out with 4 on it. Okay. Can we get rid of Animal Frosty? Yes. Do we want to? Not really. But we do want Death Focus. So, surprise attack to pay for Death Focus. We're going to use our... No, first we're going to thwart. Then we're going to use solid and Death Focus to pay for Shadowcat Surprise. To do 3 damage to Sabretooth. We are going to stand up again. We are going to choose to flip to phased. We are going to thwart again to get rid of medical emergency. Which is going to heal 2 off of Robert Kelly. Then we're going to pay for Ready to Rumble. Hang on to Quick Shift. Magic is going to do 2 damage. And it's the end of our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quick Shift, Power of Aggression, Martial Prowess, Genius. Okay. Scheme, he's going to attack. We will defend with Quick Shift, drawing us 2 cards. Boot Camp Wolverine. This causes us to shift to solid. He's going to heal for 3. Undoing almost all of our work. Oh, I forgot to put the extra damage on. Magic. Encounter card. Toad. Scheme of 2, attack of 2, hit points 3. Forced response after Toad attacks and damages a character you control. Discard 1 random card from your hand. We certainly don't want that to happen. Okay. Well, we know we're going to thwart. We know for sure that we're putting out Wolverine. We could also boot camp to give everybody +1. But yeah, not a thing I think I'm going to do right now. So we're going to bring out Wolverine. I'm just going to trigger Utopia. So we're going to stand up again. We're going to... I wonder if we do that. I wonder if we flip down this turn just to see what we can get. To be able to see if we can play more cards, because there's no attacks going on right now. So Wolverine's going to attack Toad. We're going to leave magic out there for the time being. Or do we get rid of the Stalwart? No, we can't. We don't have the resources for it. Okay, so we're going to attack for 2. We're going to flip down. We're going to flip this over to phased. We're going to use Kitty's Room to draw a card. Shadow and Steel. Okay. We will use... Genius to pay for martial prowess. So that's always good to have in the future. Show and Steel we're not going to get a use out of because we know that Colossus is way down in the deck. So stand everybody up. Or sorry, I should not deck, but way down in the discard pile. We're going to discard that. Draw up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn counter card. Oops. Could have held on to it since he might come back sooner than I thought, but oh well. All right, so we have Boot Camp, Drop Kick, Airwalk, Drop Kick, Surprise Attack, Energy. Oh, okay. He's going to put some Scheme on. He's going to Scheme for 2, 3. He's going to heal for nothing. First encounter card, Caught Off Guard, discard an upgrade or support you control. Okay. I think that's going to be Ready to Rumble. I think that's safe to do. Next one. Shapeshifter Surprise. Shuffle this card into your deck, and that card gains Surge. Okay. Well, that means that makes it easier for Mystique to make an appearance, and Mystique is very, very dangerous. It surged, so now we have Avalanche. Scheme of 1, attack of 3. Forced response after Avalanche attacks you, exhaust a character you control. Okay. So, we're currently phased. I'm going to draw a card. Get a Genius. We're going to switch to Solid. Oh, Wolverine heals 1. Now, what do we do here? I want to be able to stun Sabretooth. I think that's the most important thing right now. So 1, 2, 3 for a drop kick. So he's down to 7. He is stunned. That draws us a card. Lockheed. Okay, we're currently solid, so that's really good for us. So we're going to thwart. We're going to yeah, we're not going to do that again. Okay, so here's the way I think we do it. So we're going to put out boot camp. So now our allies have +1 attack. We're currently in solid form. We're going to bring out Lockheed. Lockheed is going to do 2 damage to Avalanche. Magic is currently hitting for 3 now. So she is going to finish off Avalanche. Utopia allows us to stand back up. We're going to hang on to our drop kick for next turn. I think we're going to thwart again because this can... no, you know what? We're going to attack. Bring him down to 5. Yeah, here's the thing. Do we cause him to flip? I feel like we do. So let's do that. Let's have Wolverine hit for 4. So down to 1. Whoops. You're not gone yet there. And then Lockheed will hit for 2. Yeah, so he's going to flip to his 3rd size. So he has toughness, retaliate. But he is stunned. Okay. I think that's all we do. We're going to hang on to that for sure. We're going to stay in solid. One, two, three, 4. Acute control, Shadowcat surprise, intangible interference, quick shift, and drop kick. All right. Scheme's going to go on. Oh, he's not stunned. We can't because he's got stalwart. Okay. Now the damage was still important, so. Aha. Game state restored. Okay. He's going to attack then. I think we're going to quick shift. So we're going to switch down to phased. He would do 1, 2, 3. So nothing. He heals, doesn't heal for anything. Encounter card. Oh, well, there she is. All right. Luckily, we have a lot of damage on board to deal with her. Because she is a real pain. Okay. So... yeah, she needs to be dealt with, and very quickly. We're going to use Wolverine. Oh, he's going to heal at the start. Wolverine has piercing, so it's just going to get through the tough. That's going to do 4 to her. We're going to attack her for 2 more. So she's at 5. That causes us to flip over. We're going to spend I'd love to Shadowcat Surprise, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So I'd rather have the card draw. We're going to drop kicker. Just going to draw us a card. Nope, Shadowcat Surprise. Yeah, so I think we're going to do that. We're going to Shadowcat Surprise. Oh, actually, that'll cost us less. I keep forgetting we have Def Focus out. We're going to keep... Neither of these is all that great. You know what? I'd rather get rid of the cards, so I'm just going to dump them anyway. Shadowcat Surprise. Deal 3 damage. Gets the tough off. We take a damage. We stand up. We're going to switch to phased. We are going to thwart for 2, and we're going to leave Lockheed as he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phase Strike, Shadowcat Surprise, Phase Strike, Shadow and Steel, and Ready to Rumble. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Okay. Now he's going to attack. We are currently phased. We're going to defend. He's going to attack for 3, 4, causing us to flip. He is going to heal, effectively for nothing. Encounter card, Metamorphic Mayhem. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme shuffles each shapeshifter card from the encounter discard pile into their deck. Okay, so this is... It starts on 3. It's only 1 boost icon. I'm going to completely ignore that thing. It's not worth messing around with at all, ever. Okay. So, first things first. We want to be able to get both a Shadowcat Surprise and a Phase Strike off this turn. Because that way we can get Animal Ferocity off of him. So, we're going to 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2 for a Shadowcat Surprise to deal 3. We take 1 in return. We're not going to flip yet. Oh no, we will after that one. We attacked. We used the... No, we didn't use the resource, but we attacked. Yeah, we can do this anyway. So we're going to switch down to phased. We're going to then phase strike. So attack, deal 6 damage to an enemy. If you're in phased mass form, you may discard an attachment with a text hero action or hero response from that enemy. So we're going to hit him for 6, so he's down to 9. That's going to knock Animal Ferocity off, so he's no longer stalwart. That's going to cause us to flip back to solid. Did I forget? Oh, I did forget off of our Shadowcat surprise to stand back up again. So we haven't done anything there. So what we're going to do is run thwart. Now the question is, do we take the risk to flip down to get more cards for the next turn? Or do we stay as is? I'm going to take the risk, flip over, use Kitty's room to heal for 2. Oh, I think I may have forgotten to take an extra damage, so we'll just in case, I'll penalize myself. And then we're going to switch to solid, or sorry, to phased. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Team building, airwalk, quick shift, ready to rumble, power of aggression, strength. Okay. Scheme's going to go on here. He's going to scheme for 2. So just 2. He's going to heal for 2. Well, no, heal, not hurt. There we go. Back up to 11. No, it was 3 base. That's right. Okay. Counter card, infiltration. So this goes into our deck. And gain surge. Last one in the deck, adamantium claws. And he has piercing and +1 to his attacks. And he accelerates. Okay. He's at 11 health. Okay. So, since we are in phased, we're going to draw a card. Angel, excellent. That allows us to get some work done. Do we flip over to solid? We don't currently have any attack events. I feel like I need to heal here. I'm going to heal. Go back up to full because of that retaliate. Going to stay in phased for now. Let's team building exercise. Warren only is going to cost us 1 now. So it's going to be ready to rumble for Warren. We're going to airwalk to get 4 off of that. Oh, forgot, of course, to Utopia because of Warren coming out. I'm going to stand up. We're going to hang on to our power of aggression and quick shift. We are going to attack for 2. It'll take us 1. Warren's going to attack. He's going to attack for 3. Do we attack with Lockheed? Oh, had to flip over. I think we do. We just want to get that damage in there. So he's down to 4. Lockheed goes. So all we need is a good turn here. We're going to keep quick shift and power of aggression. So Warren had taken 2 because of the retaliate. Just need to keep him alive. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Quick shift, power of aggression, Professor X, phased and confused. All right. Don't know if we're going to finish him this turn. 2 goes on here. He attacks. We're going to quick shift to phased. He's going to do 4, a lot. This is going to shift back. He's going to heal for 1. That's good. Oops. Counter card. Get Surge because there's no minion out. Place 4 on a side scheme, which we don't care about because Metamorphic Mayhem can stay as is. So he's at 5. We just win at this stage. Don't even have to be fancy about it. I mean, we could, but we're not going to be. So Warren attacks for 3 because of boot camp. Down to 2. Warren goes. And Shadowcat attacks for 2. And that's it. He is done. And we don't take the retaliate. All right. Well, okay. I'm reasonably sure that I didn't miss anything there. But that is the last attempt for me for this particular scenario. It's been a long haul. I think we also got lucky there. We were able to deal with Mystique as soon as she came out. You know, when we shuffled, we had those end up at the bottom, so we didn't have to deal with her coming out again. Yeah, so that it was real close. There was that one turn where we took that chance and let him scheme, and he almost schemed out. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. I think I can fairly say that after all this time playing Shadowcat so much again into Sabretooth, 1, I'm glad it's over for now. And 2, I think I learned a lot about her as a character. So, that's it. Sabretooth has been defeated by Shadowcat. Robert Kelly has been saved, even though he's a terrible anti-mutant racist. And it'll come back to bite us in the next scenario. I've yet to decide who I'm going to play. Either Cyclops or Colossus into Project Wide Awake. But I look forward to moving on from this particular scenario. So, hope you enjoyed watching. Again, let me know if I missed anything. I really don't think I did, but I just have some kind of like brain fog when it comes to this particular hero and villain combination. But anyway, until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.